Staples Mill Road, Richmond, Virginia. What we're looking at is the scene of an unsolved hit and run. At this very location, Marion Sue Doyle was struck and killed while riding her bicycle. Witnesses report that Marion was riding properly on the side of the road. The offender was traveling in the same direction.
It makes me feel like I'm 10 years old again. I can go wherever I want, do what I want to do.
I love the freedom of it. I don't know. I guess that's the one word I always tie to it.
Free from restraint.
It feels like freedom.
It's just a good, invigorating, sort of frisks you up.
It's just a really nice feeling just to be out in the open, just as you're going by everything, just having the wind blowing on you.
When it starts being spring outside, you actually smell the smells of spring.
You feel a lot more of a connection to where you're actually riding. Just being fully in your surroundings and a part of it at the same time as you're riding through it. I'll run through different stretches of trails or different techniques I might be working on in my dreams.
It's kind of like it's a mix between leisure and utilitarian use.
It's definitely my mode of transportation by choice. If I have anywhere to go, I'd walk, ride my bike, and then take a car if I have to.
I've ridden in a lot of different cities for extended periods around the country, and the roads here, as far as biking, are some of the worst ones I've encountered.
The roads in Richmond are horrible.
That's the worst I've ever seen.
Terrifying potholes.
Potholes everywhere.
The potholes are enormous.
Constantly at risk of going over my handlebars from hitting a pothole.
I've seen a few improvements, but it doesn't happen very often.
I think the roads that are maintained very well are roads that cars travel on a lot.
And roads not so much upkept for riding a bicycle.
Fixing the roads, making it more rideable for everyone. Cars, bikes, children.
It's the first step to getting to anything that's considered bike friendly, I think.
There's certain areas where I will purposely avoid the road because I'll go way out of my way just so I don't have to ride that road.
There's been a lot of occasions where I'm riding along, there's a car right beside me, and if someone opens their door, then there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to get hit, so it's either get hit by the car that's riding beside you or get hit by a stationary door.
When I ride down a street that is heavy parking on one side, it's like I fear that almost more than I fear the cars.
And so when I'm going, I'm looking for car doors that are opening up, I'm looking for cars that are pulling out, I'm looking for taxi cabs that are going back and forth, darting to the sidewalk and whatnot.
The main thing when it comes to car-bike collisions is that either the cyclist doesn't have respect for the fact that those are powerful machines that can kill him, or the car has no regard for the fact that they have the right of way on the road as well.
If you're going to hit me, I'm going to die, or get really hurt. If I hit you, I'm going to hurt myself. Either way, I get hurt.
Main Street and Carey Street, two of Richmond's most oft-used yet precarious streets for riding on, located in the heart of Richmond, where the vast majority of our active cyclists live and commute. On both sides of the street, the parking lane is 9 feet wide. What kind of car needs 9 feet of parking? If you were to cut down the parking lanes to a more reasonable 6.5 feet, we would have 5 feet to work with for a comfortable bike lane. No construction would be necessary. No parking would be eliminated. All that's needed is a simple, inexpensive redrawing of lines. Look at all this unused space.
I feel a little bit nervous because last year I got hit by a van.
And I was riding down the side, and I was on the right-hand side, and I was doing my thing, man, keeping my pace, moving along with traffic.
You're riding and then someone is going to turn you in a left or right turn lane and you're riding next to them, and they tend to just not look and will just turn.
He turned left from the right-hand lane without signaling and ran to his driver's side door.
And I see this car come up. The next thing I know, man, he just pulls right in front of me, immediately, just boom.
When the car turned, they didn't see me, and it just pinned me between the side of their car and the corner of a parked car as they were turning.
They just kept pushing me.
It was terrifying.
Cut completely in front of me, and I collided with the side of his car and nearly flew into the bed of his truck.
I had a green light through an intersection, and a woman turned left into me.
There was no time to even think about stopping.
Going through an intersection, and I was next to a car, and he was turning right, and he didn't use a signal until the last second, and that just kind of hit me. I went over the hood.
Just hit it straight over the top and it landed right here.
By the time he stopped, I didn't have shoes or socks on because they'd been pulled off by the road, and I'd lost most of the skin from here down.
Any Google-savvy individual curious to know the benefits of bike lanes doesn't have to search far. What you'll find isn't a collection of leftist, agenda-setting websites, but well-researched, well-documented, government-run websites like this one from the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, or this one, paid for by the United States Department of Transportation Federal Highway Administration. Study after study, city after city, the world over, the positive results of installing bike lanes are predictable and clear. Drivers become more aware of riders. Riders tend to obey the law more often, and lo and behold, the result is a drastic reduction of accidents.
Richmond would only benefit from bike lanes.
It'd be a reminder that there are bikes next to you all the time.
If you look at the city of Richmond, and if you ride around on a daily basis, like he should be around the city a lot, then he would see the amount of people biking constantly.
Since so many people bike, and not just the bike kids, but college professors and professional people coming into jobs, it would make people who are hesitant to bike because of some of those safety concerns more willing to get out there.
We really only need maybe 4 or 5 more bike lanes in the city, and that's not a big thing to ask, I don't think. I think that that's a fair request.
I sent out an email to all 9 Richmond City Council members asking for their opinions on the possibility of getting some bike lanes. Of those 9 emails, I received only 2 responses, and of those 2 responses, only one of them even answered my questions, that being from City Councilwoman Kathy Graziano. Not surprisingly, Councilwoman Graziano, while explaining why she does not support installation of bike lanes in Richmond, compared the cost to some of the other very important things that we already spend our tax dollars on. The problem I find with this line of reasoning, however, is that when we talk about the potential cost of installing bike lanes, we're asking entirely the wrong question, when what we should be asking is, what's the potential cost of not installing bike lanes?